We live in a digital age, as you know. Technology's everywhere, but what's the real cost of all this progress? There's this dark side to the tech world, filled with whispers of conspiracies and cover-ups. We're talking about shadow governments, suppressed inventions, and technology that might be spying on us right now. Are these just crazy theories, or is there something more sinister going on? So, you think Google and Facebook just popped up out of nowhere, huh? Think again. These tech giants didn't just materialize out of thin air. There's a theory that suggests a much deeper, more shadowy origin. There's this theory that these tech giants were actually funded by the CIA from the very beginning. Imagine that, the very platforms we use every day, possibly having roots in government surveillance programs. I'm talking about a program called Operation Mockingbird. It's real. This was a covert CIA operation that began in the late 1940s and continued through the 1970s. The goal? To influence media and control the flow of information. The CIA was all about using the media to control information. They had journalists on their payroll, feeding the public the stories they wanted to be told. It was all about shaping public perception and maintaining control. Some people think that Google and Facebook are just a modern-day version of that. These platforms have unprecedented control over the information we consume. They can shape our opinions, our beliefs, and even our behaviors. They control what we see, what we read, what we think. Every click, every like, every share is monitored and analyzed. It's a level of surveillance that would make even the most seasoned spy envious. And the craziest part, there's actually some evidence to back it up. Declassified documents, whistleblower testimonies, and investigative reports all point to a possible connection. So, next time you log in, remember you might just be part of a grander scheme. You ever heard of Nikola Tesla? He was one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century. A man whose ideas and inventions were so advanced that they seemed almost magical. Genius, visionary, way ahead of his time. Tesla's work laid the foundation for many modern technologies we take for granted today, from alternating current electricity to radio waves. He claimed to have invented a way to harness free energy, limitless power for everyone. Imagine a world where electricity is free and abundant, where energy flows like water from a tap, available to all without cost. Sounds too good to be true, right? The idea of free energy challenges everything we know about economics and power structures. Well, Tesla died under mysterious circumstances, and all his notes and inventions vanished. Some say he was silenced because his ideas were too revolutionary, too disruptive to the status quo. Some people think the government shut him down. They believe that powerful interests couldn't allow such a game-changing technology to see the light of day. They say they couldn't control free energy, couldn't profit from it, so they buried it. Imagine the implications. A world where energy is free would upend entire industries, shift the balance of power, and democratize access to resources. It's a story about greed, power, and the suppression of technology that could change the world. Whether you believe in the conspiracy or not, Tesla's dream of free energy remains one of the most tantalizing what-ifs in the history of science and technology. What if he had succeeded? What kind of world would we be living in today? Ever get that creepy feeling that your phone is listening to you? You know, like when you mention a product or a place in a casual conversation, and then, almost magically, an ad for that very thing appears on your screen. It's like your phone has ears, right? You're not alone. People have been reporting this for years. It's a phenomenon that has sparked countless debates and discussions. Some folks are convinced that their devices are eavesdropping on them, while others dismiss it as mere coincidence or targeted advertising. They talk about something and then, boom, an ad pops up on their phone. It's almost as if the phone is a silent participant in the conversation, taking notes and then acting on them. This has led to a lot of speculation and even some paranoia. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe our phones are always listening, even when we think they're off. The idea that our devices could be secretly recording us is unsettling, to say the least. But how much of this is based on fact and how much is just fear? There's technology out there that can do it. It's called ultrasonic beacons. These beacons can send out sound waves that are beyond the range of human hearing, but our phones can pick them up. It's like a secret language that only our devices understand. They send out sound waves we can't even hear, but our phones can pick them up. This technology can be used to track our movements, gather data on our habits, and even influence our behavior without us ever realizing it. They can track our location, our browsing habits, everything. It's like having a digital shadow that follows us everywhere we go. This data can be incredibly valuable to advertisers, companies, and even governments. Big Brother is watching. The idea that someone could be monitoring our every move through our phones is straight out of a dystopian novel, but in today's world it's not just fiction, it's a reality we need to be aware of and understand. You ever notice how your iPhone seems to slow down right after a new one comes out? It's not your imagination. There's this thing called planned obsolescence. Companies design products to break down, to become obsolete, so you have to buy a new one. They're manipulating us, creating a cycle of consumption that we can't escape. And the worst part, they're getting away with it. It's time to start asking questions, demand answers. Don't let them control us. We've just scratched the surface of the tech conspiracy iceberg. There's a whole lot more out there. The question is, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Are we just pawns in a game we don't even understand? It's time to open your eyes. Do your own research. Don't take anything for granted. The truth is out there somewhere.